Hello everyone! I'm just going to very quickly pop a little pinned comment here. If you are here, please do say hello. Let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me. Or maybe you could do a little thumbs up for me. There we go. Alright, I'm all in. Hello. I believe I am 4 seconds early. Apologies. Let me know if you're here. Give me a little hello. Let me know where in the world are you tuning in from. My name is Monica. If you have not met me before, if you are new to my Spice Club live cookery lessons, hi Patrick, hello Steve, welcome back, hi Linda, good to see you. Let me know where in the world are you tuning in from. I am here in Birmingham. It's not so sunny today. It has been nice and warm, but it's not particularly sunny. And that's Birmingham, UK, I should add. I've actually noticed that we've had a few people tuning in from the States. So just to clarify, Birmingham, UK. Hello, Louise from Spain. Wendy's in sunny Rill. Lovely. Hope you're doing well, Wendy. Long time no see. Hope you and the family are okay. Hi, welcome back, Matt. Andrew, good to see you. Hi, Keith. How's it going? Naz from Harborne. You're not far from me at all. You're about 10 minutes away. Shirley, you're from Tampa. Brilliant. So we'll just let this sort of populate a little bit, get some more people logged on, and then we will start cooking very soon. For those of you, hi Anna, hey Keith, Jackie, Warrington, nice to see you tuning in from Warrington again. If this is the first time that you are cooking with me or that you're tuning in, let me know if you're a newbie. I want to say hello, welcome you to my live cookery class. If you are returning, let me know, have you actually cooked with me before? If you have, what dishes have you made? I saw some amazing, hey Joe, hi Joy and Sarah from Clitheroe. Kathleen, good to see you. You brought the fam, it seems like you're having a cook-off between your sister, that's amazing. Hey Lucy. Yeah, let me know if you're new to the Spice Club cookery class your first time, or if you have been before. I was just saying before that I saw some amazing pictures of the murg masala that was made last week. I had amazing sort of pictures coming in through Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and your chicken curries looked absolutely spot on, so well done guys. Hi Helen, hey Chris, welcome back. Hi Leslie from Whitefield, your name mum. And if you've been to a cookery class before, so I'd love to know where which one you've been to, Manchester or Birmingham, let me know. Cool, all right, I think we have quite a few people logged on, so I'm going to get started. Throughout the class, just let me know if you have any questions at any point, and I will try my best to follow along and answer. Someone has said that they cannot hear me. I will just crank up my volume on my side. Can I just double check that everyone can hear me? And that you can see me, because if I did a whole class and you couldn't hear me, that would be pretty bad. As far as live cookery classes go, if you can't hear me, that will be pretty bad. So I'm just gonna make sure, just give me a thumbs up or a Y in the comments. Let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me. Great, okay, thank you Liz, I appreciate that. Thanks Manisha. That means that we can start officially. Fantastic. Hey Kay, nice to see you. Well, lovely. Well, let me just give you a little bit of an introduction. If you've never joined me before, my name is Monica, and I run the Spice Club Cookery School. I have 2 locations, one in Manchester and one in Birmingham. And the ethos for me from the beginning has really been to showcase home-style regional Indian food. And you know, I grew up in an Indian kitchen, so I grew up eating Indian food every day, pretty much, and I grew up cooking it. And now I cook it personally for my family and also professionally, and I have been doing that for many years. So for me, cooking Indian food is really, for me, it's quite straightforward and quite simple. I'm always learning, but I find it relatively easy. But I appreciate that's not the case for everyone. And I know a lot of people in this country, especially, they love their Indian food, but when they get into their own kitchen and it comes to cooking it, sometimes it can feel like this big, daunting task. You know, it's really easy to open an Indian recipe book and see this sort of long list of spices, and you can think, oh God, where do I start? So I'm here really with the Spice Club to break everything down for you and give you lots of time-saving tips and tricks along the way. So when it comes to cooking Indian food, you feel confident and you know that you've got it, okay? And you're gonna cook up some delicious food. So throughout today's class, if you have any, hello Silas, hi Tony. Throughout today's class, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will do my best to try and answer as we go along. Cool, should we get started? Give me a Y in the comments. Let me know if you're ready for me. Also, let me know if you're cooking or if you are just watching. If you're watching and you want to cook at another time, absolutely fine. This will be available on my Facebook page for a good few weeks, so don't worry. Hi Mum, Mum's tuned in. Hello. Cool. All right. So if you are cooking along, I have popped the ingredients list on the Facebook page a little bit earlier this week, so you know that we're cooking Tandoori Paneer Tikka, which is an amazing recipe. I kind of took inspiration from the amazing weather we were having this week and thought, do you know what, I can smell every other day the neighbours had the barbecue on, and I was like, I'm feeling barbecue, I'm feeling kebabs, I'm going to do some paneer tikka. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what paneer is, by the way, I should probably go over that because a couple of you in the comments did mention that you had never had paneer before. This is paneer, and I've chopped up my paneer into, I mean, I did say squares, these are more like rectangles. This is paneer. Paneer is a type of Indian cheese. It's made from milk, and it's similar to halloumi in that it doesn't melt when it's cooked, so it keeps its shape, and it's a really fantastic carrier of flavour. And we are going to marinate our paneer with lots of beautiful ingredients, so when we bite into it, it's going to have a nice slight char. You're going to be able to taste all the wonderful flavours. And it's going to be lovely and juicy. Now, with the paneer tikkas, we are also going to be serving a pickled lime onion salad. I am going to make that first, if that's okay with everyone. I know I said it's completely optional for you to make this as an accompaniment, but I want to allow the red onions to really spend some time in the pickle. So if you are cooking the salad, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are cooking the salad. If you're not, just chill out and watch. You can go get a drink whilst I make this salad. It literally takes 2 minutes though, so if you do want to know how to make it, maybe just watch. So I've got some sliced red onions here, so very, very thinly sliced is what I popped on the ingredients list. So I'm just going to bung them in a bowl that I've got here. So red onions just going straight in the bowl. Some of you are cooking this salad, lovely. Okay, so thinly sliced red onions. If you've not thinly sliced them and you want to dice them, it's fine. Whatever you want to do. So I've just popped them in my bowl here. The beautiful thing about this salad is that it's so fresh, it's so quick, it's so easy. Whenever I make any type of tandoori food, I always make this salad. Next thing, this was optional, some pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate is amazing for kind of cutting through the heat and the spice and any richness. It's just a lovely way of freshening up the palate. And then some fresh coriander. So these three things, you can see it's already making a very, very colourful salad. So I've got sliced red onions, fresh pomegranate and fresh coriander. To this, I'm going to add in half of a lime. Okay. Hi Kat, who's tuning in from Abu Dhabi. Very cool. Amazing. Are you cooking or are you just watching today? So half a lime is going to get squeezed in. I know this sounds really simple, but sometimes I find in my cooking classes, if I ask someone to slice a lime, always slice it so it's through this horizontal cross section. So it just makes it a lot easier to juice and you get more juice out of your lime. I know that sounds really simple, but it's just sometimes these little things you don't think about. So I'm going to squeeze in the whole half lime. Does that make sense? Squeeze in half a lime into your onions. Okay, you love onions like that, I know. How nice are they? And just letting them pickle for 5 minutes gives it a wonderful flavour. So my lime is in. Okay, and if you've got lemon, you can use lemon as well. And then we're just going to season this. So I've got a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to do literally a pinch of salt. So not even 1/4 teaspoon. Pinch of salt going in, and then roughly about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Okay, so that's it. All I'm going to do now is give this a really good mix. And when it comes to the paneer tikka being cooked, these will be nicely pickled. The onions are going to be slightly softer, and it just works as a really wonderful, fresh slightly sweet, crunchy, sour salad on the side. So anytime I make kebabs, Sikh kebabs, Paneer kebabs, I always make this little red onion pickled salad. So if you are cooking along and you just made the salad, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the comments, or say, yes, I've made the salad and we're ready to start on our Paneer kebabs. If you've not made the salad, don't worry about it. But I'm going to keep that on the side now, and we'll come back to the salad later on. Great. Thank you very much. Lovely. So we're going to get started on our kebabs now. Lovely. So for those of you who couldn't get your hands on paneer, I know some of you have decided to use halloumi. I also mentioned that you can just use things like mushrooms or courgettes and do like a really lovely vegetable skewer. Heather, your salad's done. Lovely, just leave it on the side. You can also use thin chunks of chicken. You could use prawns. It's just a very versatile dish. So it's really good. Denise, if you've got no pomegranate, just leave it out. You don't have to pop it in, it's completely optional. Well done, Ian. Great salad to put to the side. So yeah, you can just use whatever you have. It's quite nice for making when you've got people around and, you know, different dietary allergies. You know, you can just cater for them really, really easily. So this is a fab thing to make if you have people around. Before I make these, I should say, if you feel like I'm going too quickly at any point, do just tell me in the comments. Just let me know. Just say, chill out, Monica. You're just speeding along and I will slow down. All right. So if you are cooking, you should have your paneer or paneer replacement cut into sort of nice chunky pieces. Sometimes people cut them a little bit chunkier than this and cut them into cubes. That's also okay. I personally like them a little bit thinner. So all of my pieces are sort of similar thickness, but you can, you know, get them to whatever thickness you like. Next I have peppers. I have got green peppers, I've got red peppers, you can use yellow, you can use orange, and then I've got some onions, again cut into similar size. So if I look at these three things, ingredients, you can see that they are it's roughly about the same size, if you can see what I mean there. Great, lovely. Do you know you've got chicken and paneer? Oh, nice. So are you going to do chicken skewers and then paneer skewers, or are you going to mix it up and do chicken and paneer in the same skewer? Have you thought about this? It's a whole thing. Let me know what you decide on. Okay, so if you have got everything ready, you're now going to pop it in a big bowl. Okay, so beautiful thing about this recipe is that, yes, that ingredient list might look a little bit long, but you just chuck everything in the bowl and then just mix it and everything is done pretty much. Okay, so that's the best thing about this recipe. Right, let us get started. So if we are all ready, we're going to start with the marination. Now this marination works really well for any type of tandoori food. This is kind of the same marination if you're making tandoori chicken. Traditionally at home, Catherine, you're watching from work. Sly, I like it. So yeah, if you're ever making anything like tandoori chicken, we actually do the same marination. We often tend to use chicken on the bone. We will debone a chicken, we'll skin it, and we'll have all these pieces. We slit into it, you know, drumsticks, thigh, breast, and then we marinate it in the same marination. So know that once you've got this marination down, you can make lots of different types of marinated tandoori shrimp, prawns, you can do fish. You could actually use the same spice paste and rub it into a whole fish. It works really well with sea bass. Oh, it's lovely. I'm getting a bit excited now. But yeah, we're talking about paneer tikka today, okay? But just know that that marination is incredibly versatile. So if you have all your ingredients in the bowl, thanks Cheryl, my apron. Mum made this apron. She's all over sewing. Okay, we are now going to pop in our main ingredients. Sophie West, is it everything in the bowl including chicken? Absolutely, yes. If you're using chicken instead of paneer, you're going to pop that in as well. Lovely. So now we're going to put in, I've got here garlic. I've already grated this up. Ginger, I've already grated that. And then I've got some fresh green chilli. Now I did say that was optional. The onion is in the bowl. Yeah, sorry. So just to let you know, the peppers, onion and paneer in the bowl. Do let me know that you can see everything clearly. I can move the angle of the camera if you like. So everything is going to go in the bowl. In regards to chili, if you don't like your food too spicy, you can put less of the chili in. I've got maybe 2 bird's eye green chilies in here. I like my food really spicy with a bit of a kick. So I've gone in 2 chilies and finely chopped them. If you don't have green chilies in, you can actually just use chili powder. You can use chili flakes, whatever you have. All of this is going to go in the bowl though. Okay, I've also left my seeds in the chili. If you've been to one of my cookery classes or you've joined me for a live, what do I always say? Never de-seed the chili. Just use less of the chili. Okay, I'm all about 0 food waste. So I'd rather use less of the chili if I don't like it as hot. I know, Charisma, you like it hot as well. But yeah, let me know, how do you like your Indian food? Are we liking it spicy? Are we liking it mild? I've got a bit of a kick in here today with my 2 green chilies. Chris and Karen are watching in the garden in Leyland. Amazing. Hello, Denise. Yeah, so everything's in here now. Ginger, garlic, chili. Okay. To this, if you are adding, this was an optional ingredient, half a teaspoon of tomato puree. So this is double concentrate tomato puree. Little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tanginess. Just a nice way of adding a little bit of a just sort of oomph of flavour in your marination. Completely optional. Ian likes it with a bit of a kick. Keith likes it with a bit of a kick. Nice. Tandoori food. It's not ridiculously hot, but I do like it with a bit of a kick, bit of spice. Linda likes it spicy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, next thing that's going to go in is this. So this is gram flour. I don't know if you can see that properly. It's a bit reflective here. That's better. Gram flour is chickpea flour. Now I did say that you can use plain flour instead of chickpea flour. This is the same thing that goes in onion bhajis, if you ever want to make onion bhajis. The reason why I like to add gram flour to my marination is it helps the marination stick to your main ingredient. So in our case, it's paneer, or in your case it might be tofu or halloumi or chicken. We don't want that to slide off because we're going to add some yogurt in a second. We do not want that to slide off. So the gram flour kind of works as a glue to help your marination stick. So even if you're making anything like tandoori chicken, any tandoori food, anything that's skewered with a yogurty marination, this is a really good tip to help your marination kind of really stay in that sort of paste form. So that's going to go in there and it's not going to slide off your main ingredients. So I had like a couple of teaspoons of gram flour there. The nice thing about gram flour compared to chickpea flour, compared to plain flour, is that because it's made from chickpeas, it's very nutty in flavour, okay? Plain flour doesn't really add anything in terms of taste, but I appreciate you might not have that in right now. So yeah, yes, John, you could use that instead. All right, so I'm going for Greek yogurt. Ideally, you want a thick yogurt, so I've gone for Greek. If you can source Greek where you are in the world, you could actually alternatively use something like a creme fraiche or a cream cheese, but ideally a thick Greek yogurt is perfect. So I'm going to add in roughly around 3 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. I know I'm using a teaspoon. Just realised that I don't have a tablespoon in my pop-up kitchen. But yeah, we want about 3 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, and I'm going to eyeball that. So yeah, that's about 3 tablespoons. So in an Indian kitchen, generally speaking, we don't measure anything. I haven't turned the pan on yet, Diana. Nothing as of yet. So we have yogurt in here and the gram flour. If we're all following along, if you could let me know by popping a Y in the comments or a thumbs up, just so I know we're at the same stage. And now we're going to start with our spices and our seasoning. So this is where it gets fun, this is where it gets colourful, and this is where it gets flavourful as well. So, have we got our spices ready? If we have, we're going to, first of all, pop in our salt, alright? So salt's really important when you're making any type of tandoori food, because there's no sort of element of sauce, there's no curry, so everything in terms of flavour is in the marination, okay? So we need to add some salt in, okay? Brian, come and cook for you, please. I'm teaching you how to cook so you can do it yourself, right? Isn't that a Good compromiser. So yeah, everything's in here. We're now going to add salt. So roughly speaking, I had about 225 grams of paneer in here, and that was roughly about 16 pieces of paneer. I've got about 16 pieces of pepper as well, and about 16 pieces of onion. And for that, you need roughly around a teaspoon and a half. Okay, so a teaspoon's gone in and half a teaspoon more. Next thing we're going to do is add in our paprika. So this is, Louise, you like a quick recap? Yeah, of course. So in the bowl, we've got our paneer, our peppers, our onions, ginger, garlic, chilli. We've also got our gram flour in there. We've got our yogurt in there. I've just put in some salt, and I am about to put in some paprika. Okay? Yes, you can. So next thing is going to be paprika, and we're going to put in a heaped teaspoon of paprika. So that's going to go in. Okay? Maybe a tinge more. Paprika is really lovely for adding warmth to your food, and also adds gorgeous colour to your food without that sort of heat and spice element. So it's a really, really lovely way of adding colour and warmth. We're also going to add in, does anyone know what this is? Trendy spice right now. It is the trendiest spice in the West. Who can tell me what it is? Yep, it's turmeric, absolutely, or we call it haldi at home. So turmeric, we're going to add in about half a teaspoon of turmeric. So turmeric is fantastic. It gives a really earthy flavour, but it also gives gorgeous colour, obviously, to your food. You can stain your fingers very easily with turmeric. And it is also used as medicine, and that's why it's such a trendy spice here in the UK and the West in general. So yeah, it's a natural antiseptic, it's a natural anti-inflammatory, so really, really wonderful and good for your body. Next thing is coriander powder. Sarah, it's not smoked. I've just gone for plain paprika because there's so much going on in our food already. I've just gone for plain, okay? Gillian, I would probably, if you're using halloumi, thank you for asking that question, by the way, because halloumi has got quite a high salt content, I'd probably maybe just pop in just over half a teaspoon to begin with, and then we're going to taste the marination later on, and if you feel like you want to add more, you can add more, okay? So coriander powder is going in next. I've got a couple of teaspoons that I'm going to pop in. So 1 and 2, just sort of 2 level teaspoons. My coriander powder might look a little bit coarser than yours. I kind of grind up my coriander seeds and make my own fresh coriander powder, but you can use whatever you've got at home. And then we're going to go in for cumin powder. So we are going to put in about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder. This is optional. My cumin powder, I actually make it from cumin seeds, and I toast the cumin seeds and then grind it into a powder. It really adds a beautiful, intense, nutty flavour. If you ever come to a cookery class, I will show you how to make your own toasted cumin powder. And once you start making your own toasted cumin powder, you never really go back to shop bought because they don't toast it when you buy cumin powder from shops. Next thing that's going to go in is one of my favourite spices. So we used this in the mud masala last week, right at the end. This is sun-dried fenugreek leaves. So if you don't have these in, do not worry, it's completely optional, but it is really, really wonderful to add in any type of tandoori dish, any type of meat dish. I love, love, love to add in sun-dried fenugreek leaves. So I'm going to, whenever you're adding these to the bowl, what you need to do, it's really important, you don't just chuck them in the bowl. Okay, you actually, and I mentioned this last week as well, so sorry for those of you that did watch and are hearing me say this again, but you want to grind those sun-dried fenugreek leaves into what looks like a powder, and that's when, oh my gosh, you can really smell that flavour come out. Heather, no, not for this recipe, you wouldn't want to use curry leaves instead. Diana said, did I toast the coriander seeds? No, not the coriander seeds, I did not. Caroline, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, Shirley, dry fenugreek leaves, so much flavour. Dina has got her fenugreek leaves, great, fantastic. I'm going to put in about 3 pinches of fenugreek leaves, okay? So, just going to give this a really good grind. My great auntie She lives in Jaipur in Rajasthan, and she has Mel's asked if you can use fenugreek powder or fenugreek seeds. No, just leave it out. It's completely different in flavour. That's just going to add a little bit of bitterness. So thank you for asking, but no, we're going to leave out powder or crushed seeds. It doesn't add the same flavour. My great auntie's got a really wonderful, she used to have a fenugreek bush. Mum, is it a fenugreek tree or fenugreek bush? Yeah, my mum actually dried out the leaves when she was in India on a trip and then brought it over, and yeah, I think I've just finished it now. I'm feeling really sad that I've finished this sort of homemade fenugreek, dried fenugreek leaves. So yeah, you can get it here in the UK though. If you don't have an Indian auntie with a fenugreek tree, you can get it here in the UK or wherever you are in your Asian supermarkets. Gareth made the dish from last week. You're going to make it for dinner tonight. Fantastic. Shirley, we put in about 3 good pinches. Louise, gram flour is going to go straight in the bowl. Charlotte, what spice grinder do I use? I've got a huge spice grinder. It's actually a blender as well. It's called Blendtec, but you can use a coffee grinder as well. Just wash out your blender, your grinder, before you use coffee in it. So the next thing that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add in some garam masala. This is the last spice that we're adding in here, and we're just putting in a level teaspoon. This is my homemade secret Spice Club garam masala mix. Mum has confirmed that they're actually fenugreek plants. Thanks, Mum. Okay, Mum's handy, you see? It's good to have Mum on hand. Thanks, Mum. Next thing that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add in the black cardamom. So I mentioned that this is optional as well. I appreciate that not everyone can source all of these spices, and with marinations it's quite spice heavy, so that's why I've let you know when it is optional. So black cardamom, it's like green cardamom, but it's kind of like the green cardamom's more handsome, mysterious brother. It's very smoky in flavour, and that's why I love to add it to tandoori style foods. So if you have a pestle and mortar and you do have the black cardamom, I'm going to ask you to just give it a good old smash up. If you don't have a pestle and mortar, you can just use a big knife against a chopping board and just kind of prise it open and give it a good bash. And I'm not going to put the skin in, I'm just going to put the crushed seeds in. So all that's going to go in. Vince, good to see you. You're not cooking along today, that's fine. We'll see you next week. No problem at all. Hope you guys are well. So that is going to add a lovely smoky flavour. So that element of the tandoori style food, you can't always, you know, cook in a tandoor at home because we just don't have them. So it's a great way of adding that smoky flavour. Okay, so next thing that's going to go in is lime juice. And let me know, guys, give me a thumbs up or a Y in the comments. Let me know that you're following along and that I'm not going too quickly for you. I appreciate if you've never done a marinade for tandoori style food before, it can seem like it's quite a lot. But do let me know. Give me a thumbs up or pop a little heart in the side there. Thank you. Let me know that you're following along. Next thing that we're going to pop in here is our lime juice. So I'm going to juice, we're going to do a whole lime this time, okay? So whole lime worth of juice. You can use lemon as well. Yeah, there you go, Matt, you can use lemon instead. Thanks, Marie. Thanks, Keith, letting me know. And I'll do the other half now as well. Love the smell of fresh lime, it's beautiful. This is going to add gorgeous freshness to this marination. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a minute, let you all come up to speed, because this marination is now pretty much ready. What we need to do now is give it a really beautiful and gentle massage. We want to give the paneer, or the chicken, or the halloumi a lovely massage. So I've got everything in here. If anyone needs a recap of anything, let me know. One thing that we can add in as well, to make sure that our paneer doesn't dry out in your pan, is we're going to add in some oil. So I'm going to add in maybe a drizzle's worth. You know what that means, right? So maybe about a tablespoon's worth of oil, just to make sure that this doesn't dry out in the pan, okay? If you're being uber healthy about this, you don't have to do that. But this just really helps retain that moisture, and we're looking for our paneer to be lovely and juicy and moist, all those good adjectives. That's what we want in our paneer. Okay, so now I'm going to use my hand and I'm going to coat and mix. Now, you want to be quite tender-handed. You don't want to break anything. And you really want to give your paneer, your onions, your peppers, or if you're using chicken, whatever you're using, you want to give it a really good massage. So I'm actually using my fingers to spread the marination all over on all the pieces. And it smells incredible. Let me know, guys. How is it smelling in your kitchen right now with all these spices and the ginger and the garlic? I'm getting very excited. So yeah, I always like to use my hand for this because especially for things like the onion, can you see it's coated quite well on one side, but because it's curved, concave, convex, concave, which one is it? It doesn't actually catch the marination, so you actually need to use your thumb to marinate and really spread it into each individual piece. So keep mixing until you can see that every little piece is really well coated. Hi Claire. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, absolutely. These videos will be available on our Facebook page. So yeah, just catch up whenever you want to. Smells good, doesn't it, Ed? So someone's already tasting the marinade. Good. That's a good stage. Good sign as well that it tastes great. Lovely. So this is what we're looking for, everyone. So every single piece should be really well coated. And if you ever feel like it's looking a bit dry, you can add a little bit more of the yogurt. But it shouldn't be looking too wet. They shouldn't just be it shouldn't be like a batter. Otherwise that marination is just going to slip right off those pieces. Okay, so just give me, Joe, concave on one side, convex on the other. Thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate you clarifying that. So yeah, we are gonna now just very quickly, I'm gonna very quickly taste this marination. Now I know it's gonna taste a little bit raw. However, it just gives me an indication of salt and chili, and that's the only reason why I need to taste this. Oh, that's perfect. That's lovely. So if you tasted it and you thought, do you know what, I want to add a bit more chili, or it's not quite seasoned enough. If you're using raw meat, obviously you can just omit tasting. The measurements that I've given you should be absolutely fine. I always taste as I cook, that's the only thing. So that's why I've just advised that if you are doing paneer, just give it a quick taste. But don't worry if not. Okay, those seasonings are pretty much spot on what I told you. I'm going to wash my hand in my pop-up sink here. If you want to go to your actual sink, because you're in a kitchen, you can go and wash your hands in an actual sink at this point in time. So, marination is done. This is the time that we're going to start skewering and creating our Paneer Tikka Kebabs. Louise, yep, concave, I'm on it now, thank you very much. Just had like a bit of a moment where I slipped off there. Rudge, how much yogurt? Yeah, thanks Louise. It was about 3 to 4 tablespoons, and I did say that ideally you want to use a Greek yogurt, okay? So we're now going to talk about skewering our marination. So just give me a Y in the comments, a thumbs up or a heart. Let me know that you're on the same page as me, so we can start moving on and cooking. And are we getting hungry is the question that I want to know the answer to, because I'm getting really hungry. I didn't really have any breakfast today. And I had one of those days where, I don't know if you can relate to this, but I just was really craving cereal at lunchtime. And I thought, I'm just going to go for it. And I had a really big bowl of crunchy nut cornflakes for lunch. Thanks, Lissy. Okay, Daljeet, so you've not got any skewers. That's not a problem at all. Because what you can do is you can actually just create a really lovely tandoori, what we would call a tandoori sabji. So you can actually just cook it on the pan, or you can just grill it on a grill sheet. And you can actually just have a really nice tandoori vegetable or paneer dish. So don't even worry about it. I sometimes make it without the skewers and just have it as like a nice paneer dry dish. So don't worry about that. Liz, will these be okay to make now, cook later? Yeah, absolutely. So if you actually let this marination go for a little bit longer, so I'd say overnight is best, it will taste even better. Liz, will it sorry, Kavita said you've put a tad extra salt. How to change it, okay? So if you feel like your salt's a bit sharp, not a problem. Put a little bit more lime juice in, maybe put half a teaspoon of yogurt in, and that will help compensate, okay? Any more questions before we start skewering? Louise, you had ice cream for breakfast. Amazing. What flavour? What are we talking? Details, please. You can't just say you had ice cream for breakfast. I need to know what we're talking. Now, there's quite a few ways of making this dish. You can use metal skewers, I'm using bamboo skewers, okay? You can use, I've just got those normal thin round skewers, okay? You can cook this on a griddle pan, and that's what I'm going to do today in front of you. I've got a cast iron griddle pan. If you don't have a griddle pan, don't worry. You can also use a pan like this. So this is a chapati pan. We call this a tava pan. So the only difference is that you don't get those sort of lines, but you can still get the char on here. You just need to make sure that you obviously use oil and butter, and it's going to be the same way that I cook it. So you can just put this on. If you're using a grill, you want to just put it on the maximum temperature just for preheating for 2 minutes. And you want to line, see I'm prepared here for all options. So yeah, pop your grill on now if you're using the grill. And you're going to just line your baking tray with some foil, okay? So you want to also grease this with a little bit of oil just to make sure that your paneer doesn't stick to your oil. Yeah, does that make sense? So just let me know if you have any questions. So when you are grilling in the grill or the oven, you will skewer it in the same way, but just preheat your grill right now at the maximum temperature just whilst we're skewering, okay? So if we're all ready to skewer, I've never said the word skewer so often in one sort of short space of time. So I've got my skewers at the ready. Little tip as well, if you are using a griddle pan like this, one thing that I've done, I've actually snapped off a little bit of the end of my skewer so it actually fits within the pan. Otherwise what happens is the skewer just kind of sits on top and the paneer kebabs just kind of are suspended, and that's okay. I mean, it's still going to cook, but I really like to have the direct contact of the skewers on the pan. Mum has said that that's smart. Thanks, Mum. Pass the jeans down, you did. Hi, Venkat. Nice to see you. Long time no see. Cool, awesome. So let's start skewering. There is no particular order as to how you do this, but I'm going to start off with a pepper. Okay, so if you've got your skewers at the ready, we're going to go in with, I'm going to go in with the pepper, I'm going to go in with a piece of onion as well, and then I'm going to go in with paneer. And I'm going to repeat that 4 times. So I'm going to have 4 sets of peppers, 4 sets of onions, and 4 sets of paneer. Okay, so then I want to do paneer, just kind of aiming for the centre. And this is where it's helpful when they're all the same size, because it just means that they cook quite easily and quickly. So I did red at the beginning. I think I'm going to go green next, change it up a bit, make it look nice and colourful. So we're going to skewer through. So like I was mentioning before, the longer you can leave your meat or your paneer on this marination, the better. Okay, so if you wanted to make this later on this evening, I actually wouldn't cook it. I would just let it marinate and sit in the marination for as long as possible until I wanted to cook it. So I've now done 2 sets of peppers, onions and paneer. Going in for the 3rd. So I'm alternating between green and red, but you can obviously do what you like. Go crazy, get creative. Pepper, onion and paneer. Depends on how big your skewers are as well. So let me, I've actually going to push down each piece because I started a little bit too high and I want to fit another set in. So I've just pushed everything down. How are we looking, guys? Are we looking kind of like this? Let me know. And I'm going to go in for another pepper, another onion, and a piece of paneer at the top. So that is quite a decent sized portion. So that's why I kind of say 2 skewers per person is quite decent. I'm just going to balance it on this bowl here, just so it doesn't stick to the plate. So the marination, if I was to put it straight on a plate, it would probably I'll probably leave half the marination on the plate. So let's go again. Right, okay, so how are we doing, guys? Give me a quick thumbs up. I appreciate your hands might be dirty, so it might be a little bit difficult, but maybe with your little pinky, you could just give me a quick thumbs up, let me know that you're all here and that you're following along and that you are skewering simultaneously. It's quite a difficult word to say. So yeah, going from pepper, onion, paneer. I've had this with prawns, I've made this with prawns, it's delicious. So yeah, it's super, super versatile. You can make it with whatever you like. Really, really tasty. You could even do little pieces of fish and it would work really, really well. Nice piece of white fish. Thank you. Susan, you're doing it later. Thanks, Keith, letting me know. Susan, are you going to have it for dinner tonight? What are you thinking? If you do, it might be an idea, if you have a bit of time, just to marinate ahead of time. You really get the extra flavour that way. Oh, I've messed this up. I've done 2 pieces of pepper without putting the onion in. What am I doing? What am I playing at? Too much multitasking happening. So this is what mine looks like. I'm halfway done with this one. So I'm going to make 2 in front of you, but there's enough in here to make 4. So you guys can carry on. But I'm going to start cooking. So just because I've nearly done this, I've nearly finished this one, I'm now, hey Harry, how's it going? Good to see you, thanks for tuning in. I'm now going to turn my pan on. Okay, so I want to get this pan nice and hot. So I'm just going to pop it on a low heat, just get it nice and warm. So by the time this is finished, this will be ready. Because I'm trying to do this in a seamless, professional manner. That's the plan. So I've got one more set to do here. Paneer. So if your grill is preheating, that's perfect. If you're using a normal frying pan or a crepe pan, you might want to get it on the heat now. Susan, you are going to make it when your son comes home. Fab. Manisha, you're having this with some masala chips tonight for dinner. Yes, that sounds amazing. Daljeet, do you think diffuser reeds will do? Yeah, they will, providing that they're clean and they haven't actually gone in any oil at any point. It's the first time anyone's asked me if you can use diffuser reeds. I mean, yeah, absolutely, of course you can. You could use chopsticks if you wanted to. 1, 2, 3. We've got one more set to do. I'm losing track here. Brilliant. Has anyone ever used diffuser reeds instead of kebab skewers before? Maybe you can let Daljeet know. Yeah, good shout, Karen. You're doing tofu skewers and chicken skewers. Lovely. AJ, very nice. Thank you very much. Brother has approved. Okay, so I've got 2 skewers that are done now. I'm now going to get my pop-up sink back and give my hands a quick wash. Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, in terms of those reeds, if it's made of something like bamboo, it should be okay. But yeah, we need to just check that they are food safe. That's a good shout, Haley. Just make sure they're clean as well. So my pan's getting nice and hot. Now I want to bring this over so you can get a really good shot of this. So just make sure that if you can just let me know in the comments that you can definitely see everything, okay? So if you are grilling anything, you might want to soak your skewers or, you know, run them under some water, just get them nice and wet so they don't catch. If you're doing them in a pan, you don't need to worry about that so much, okay? It's not really much of an issue, all right? So because my pan here is not non-stick and it is made from cast iron, I tend to have it greased, generally speaking, so it doesn't rust. I am also going to add a little bit more oil to this, and if you are using just a normal crepe pan, you definitely want to add in 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil on there as well. I'm going to use a combination of oil, and I'm also going to add a little bit of ghee to the pan as well. You can use butter as well. It just adds a really wonderful flavour when you're making your kebabs, but completely optional. So there's already a little bit of oil in my pan. I'm also added a little bit of ghee. So it probably is going to look like I've got more oil in my pan than you, but just make sure it's well greased is what I'm saying. Just with this being not non-stick, it's just going to require a little bit more oil. If you are doing it on inside an actual grill, you will want to just grease this, pop it in your grill, so it's at a high temperature for right now. You want to pop it in there for roughly around 7 to 8 minutes. You should be able to just see a nice slight char on there, and then you're going to turn over the skewers, okay, for another 7-8 minutes. Are we all good? Are we ready to cook our skewers? You should feel that the pan is nice and hot, which mine is here, and we're going to now pop on the skewer one at a time, or two at a time rather. You should hear that lovely lovely char and sizzle that's come through there. So now we're just going to give it a little bit of time, so maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I've got this on a sort of medium to high heat. So now they've asked, can you freeze and marinate the paneer? Yeah, Mum's probably mentioned that it's probably not best for the peppers. If you're going to have it with the onions and peppers, it probably have too much water content to freeze it. So we're just going to give this a minute or so on this side. With it being yogurt, it can catch on the pan, so that's why it's really important that the oil is nice, your pan is nicely oiled. And it's probably a good time to open a window as well. It can get a little bit smoky. I'm just going to see how these are doing. Give it a bit more time. And I want to get the temperature on high now. I'm also going to add a tiny bit more oil. And I'm also going to add in a little bit more ghee, because I want that gorgeous buttery flavour to come through. So it just melts through on the pan there. Really, really beautiful flavour. If you don't have ghee, you can just add a little bit of butter, and that combination with the paneer, it's really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to give it a quick turn. I'm going to give it about half a minute more. And then we're going to turn it over. So let me know how you're doing. How are we looking? And this is why it's a really good idea that everything's cooked the same size, so it kind of cooks at the same temperature. Oops. I'm now going to turn these over. Oh, can we see that? That's what we're looking for, guys. A nice slight char on there. That's beautiful. It smells absolutely incredible. Really, really tasty. I'm actually going to just give this side a little bit more time. So how are we getting along, guys? Have we got our kebabs on the grill yet? Let me know. Pop a little Y in there, a little thumbs up or a little heart for me. And I've now got this on a maximum temperature to really get the cooking going. The beautiful thing about paneer is how quickly it cooks. Great. So now I'm going to flip that over. If you do, so come with me, if you're using an induction pan, you can use a normal tawa, so something that you cook your chapatis on. You could use a chapati pan, that would work absolutely fine. This is also amazing on the barbecue as well. So if you've got the barbie on, it's a really, really good shout. We're going to give this another half a minute more. And then we're going to make sure that we get all the sides nicely charred. So that's why I kind of like to do 2 at a time. These are so incredible. How are we looking? Beautiful. So that's beautiful and charred on that side. I'm going to do the other side. So I'm on my 3rd side now. So it really only takes a couple of minutes to do each side. If you don't like them to be too charred, you can obviously just cook them until they've just got a slight golden crisp on there. Same thing goes for the chicken. There we go. So just keep an eye on them. If you do not have asbestos fingers like me, you can use a tissue to hold each side of the skewers. Wow, this looks so good. It smells incredible. So this is why it's so important to get that pan nice and hot, so it just cooks so quickly. I'm going to give it a little bit more time on this side. I think this one's done. Yeah, that is done now. I'm going to bring my plate over. So if you're doing this ahead of time, you know, you've got family coming over, you could just pre-prep the skewers. Good idea, Susan. Pop the kettle on. Okay, so these are now done. I'm going to transfer. You can see that it's got a lovely char all over. So that's what we're looking for, just to cook that marinade and bring the flavour through to the paneer. And also cook our peppers and our onions. So I'm going to transfer that over to our plate. Same thing goes over here. Really beautifully cooked all over. So they probably had about, in total, not much longer than about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to just move this to the side. And I'm going to bring over, just let this pan cool down. Let me know how you're doing, guys. How are we getting on? And I'm going to bring back my lovely, beautiful salad. So I have got here some homemade tamarind sauce, some chutney. This also goes really well with mint yogurt sauce as well. So I'm going to spoon on the salad. And my window's open. I'm pretty sure my neighbours can smell this. It smells absolutely amazing. So on goes our salad. And there, very quickly, we have our amazing kebabs, our Tandoori Paneer Tikka, with our red onion salad and our I've got my tamarind sauce there. I'm going to try some whilst I'm here, because I can't wait. Denise, 3 to 4 minutes in total. So roughly, you know, you're looking about a minute each side to get it nicely charred. It depends on how well your pan catches the heat. You basically judge it by eye, so you get a nice crisp char all over. Yeah, they look good, don't they? So I've got a sweet tamarind chutney, but it works really, really well with yogurt and mint sauce as well. Let me give it a quick try whilst I'm here, because it looks too good to not have it. So, that's really good. I'm going to try the salad as well, just on the side. That's very, very, very tasty. So I've served mine with a sweet tamarind sauce. I've got my paneer tikka here, and that lovely pickled lime onion salad. Absolutely delicious. If you're making this in the grill, you'll just want to pop it in the grill until you can, again, see the chars, see that it's cooked through, and maybe just turn it so you can cook each side. So just keep an eye on the grill, keep opening the door, and just keep giving it a turn and checking. Smoke detector's going off. Sorry, Diana. If you don't have tamarind sauce, just enjoy it with that lovely salad. It's delicious. It's completely optional. I have friends that have this with chili sauce. Sometimes I jazz up some Greek yogurt with some chili sauce or some mint sauce. It's lovely with some mint sauce and yogurt. Where do you get the sauce? Susan, I made this chutney, but you can get it from most world sections in normal supermarkets, as well as Asian supermarkets. But yeah, these are our paneer tikka kebabs, tandoori paneer tikka. If you don't have the skewers and you just want to saute the marinated pieces in a saucepan or in a frying pan, that would work as well. But I hope you've enjoyed today's live cookery class. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you all. Let me know how you get on cooking yours. Caroline, you mentioned, can you keep these warm in the oven whilst cooking others? Yeah, I would basically keep them at a very low temperature, or just take them out and wrap them in foil. That's probably better. You want to make sure that the paneer isn't overcooked. It's still nice and juicy. I just tried one and it was incredibly soft and juicy. But yeah, thank you so much for joining in. If you have any questions, please feel free to continue to comment. I will be posting up the actual written recipe of these on my website, spicediary.com. So if you have any questions, or if you just want to know more information on the details of this recipe, I will be popping that on there. Also, if you have any requests for any future classes, so next Friday at 4 will be the next one, please let me know. I know we've still got requests for dal, which I've noted. Some people have mentioned chickpea curries. So yeah, I will absolutely be doing those as well. But let me know in the comments if there's any specific dishes that you like. Also, I've pinned a comment at the top of the comment section to our website, spiceclubuk.com. If you want to sign up for our mailing list, if you like information on our cookery classes, if you'd like to come and join, have a look at spiceclubuk.com. There's also a link to an online tip jar if you'd like to help fund any future isolation lessons. That would be much appreciated. But otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in today. Enjoy your Tandoori Paneer Kebabs. Dig in, let me know. Please take a photo and send it to me. I would love to see your recreations at home. And there's plenty more recipes on spicediary.com, which is my personal recipe website. Thanks very much, guys. I will see you next week. Have a good one and do keep safe and have a good week. All right, bye-bye. Take care.